So we're gonna go over conspiracy. Everything on TV now is like a lie, and it's actually an overt lie. If you have any amount of brain cells whatsoever, it's obvious that all of the politics, all of the public science, all of the everything is sort of a staged theatrical performance. It's kayfabe. Um, it's not that they're not. It's like a reality TV show, or not even that. It's like a sitcom, but it's the characters on stage are like actually using all of the earth for its like drama performance, right? It's like here let's go stage a war. Let's go do like the it call it like if the script calls for a real terrorist event, we just make a real terrorist event, or if it calls for a war, you just go to war, right? So it's like if an actor was acting and there was an apple on the table and it was like move the apple to the other end of the table, it's like, was that fake? No, the apple actually moved, right? At some level, the a performance is real, right? At some level, the performance is real, and at some level, you go, that was artificial, that's fake. It could be the motivations, it could be the appearance of things, right? There's many different things to do that way, and that's what all of the stuff is, right? Even with the science, you can have the truth, and then you can release certain truths into the water to cause the ripples of that revelation of truth, be it an innovation, be it an insight, be it a whatever, you can, right, release it. Um, you can do rituals and performance and drama, like you can have episodes that are about certain things, and that'll influence the cognitive behavior of everything. And this is this is an understanding of like body language, like, right, if you stand with a certain posture, people get a certain read and they feel a certain way. And that same thing happens if you just show them certain events on film or whatever, it elicits unconscious like reactions to things. There's sort of a body language to it, and this is like a symbolic dream language or whatever. People have studied this forever. It's the essence of the, it's like you can't even, it's just that sort of, but also it's you can't just write it off. It's analyze, there's a mystical component to it, there's this fantastical element to it. Even when you see it all perfectly scientifically, it'll it it's fantastical. You cannot explain away the mysticism of it, the mystical nature of it. You can't explain away the mysteries. It's impossible. Once you like see, once you see what explaining itself is, you're like, oh, this didn't solve anything. And so the games that everyone's playing involve that. That's an understanding. That's a knowing that all the groups have had. There's always groups. There's always groups fighting groups. This place is competitive. And so people that aren't into your family, your tribe, your ideological faction, which would be your religion, right? Your ideological faction is your religion. Your biological faction is your family, right? And these things behave in selfish manners. Just the very existence of a body behaves in this like selfish, this is me, this is not me. I'm going to destroy everything that I take into me, and I have to eat to survive. Like everyone has to eat to survive. And so the class is always separate. There's always the elite and the poor, and there's always this thing, unless they're united in a family, in a religion, or whatever. But when people are interacting and they're not united via a family or ideology or whatever, it's always separated into like basically elite and poor, slaves and owners, the haves and the have-nots. That's a major thing of separation. Um, and so the groups in charge see story and they see personality as a means of control. They manipulate the personalities to control the outcomes of events, and it's always been this way. There's always owners, and the owners want they want the slaves to understand as little as possible. They want the slave world to be as fake as it could possibly be, so that the unslaved world is incomprehensible and unattractive to them. Right? It's the domestication process. The domestication process, as you're taken into this web or network of lies or dissolved by demoralizing propaganda, um, you are assimilated. You're broken down and assimilated, and that's happening all the time. Like the media thing, the essence of it was only ever to broadcast um, identity dissolving, like lies, identity dissolving frequencies. Right. The thing is that the internet and the political thing is broadcasting identity dissolving frequencies and then assimilating it into it. That's you lose your cultural identity, you lose your context, you lose your place into this world, and you go into the internet. And it pulls it in with these enticing things, and then it requires sacrifices of the body. From getting the awareness of the water, or whether it's to desire something outside of itself, something that's not here. If you stay within the realm of your domain, you can move and make choices guided by where the location of your desires. But when you can get the other group's desires to be in that virtual thing, that's been the main research of the last however many number of years. The entire thing is a political, like I don't political. There's it's an operation. Like there's multiple groups that have taken complete control and complete dominance of every frequency, every channel, everything. There's no organic connection, or everyone is being siloed by the algorithm and split into chosen factions, being fed chosen information. Right, the algorithm can sort the information and what's presented to everybody. Nobody questions this, right? Nobody questions this, and if they do, the algorithm definitely doesn't support them. In this constant frequency driving of like which news stories, which symbols, which events are fed to which people, and which ones are broadcast to everybody at the same time, you constantly have these dissolving frequencies. They're creating polarizations, creating groups, and then broadcasting and unifying another type of frequency to pull all those dissolved people together. Are people doing this? Are demons doing this, or whatever? I would say it's obviously anti-human and sort of extra dimensional, outside of time, and that it's like larger than the scope of my lifespan, probably, like the event that's happening, like the intelligence that seems to be working. Right, the intelligence that works to make a human. What does that look like at the cellular level, with a cellular perception of time? What does it look like when an intelligence is acting on it to turn that cellular consciousness into a full body? Right, so what would it look like for that type of consciousness to be acting on us, or if that type of consciousness withdraws from us, what does it look like from a cellular perspective if the personality withdraws from the cells? Right, like look at that's what's happening when you look at the gender dysphoria and the ideological stuff and all that. That's consciousness withdrawing from the matter. It's a disidentification with the body, that's the same as death. Right, so you see the internet is pumping out the frequency of death. It's like a literal death ray. If you understand what death is the disembodiment of, right? Then you see that these things are pumping out. They are death rays. They are frequency driver death rays. All the cell towers and stuff like that. And you go, oh well, how could anybody ever leave that up? And they go, here is some money, here is some dopamine, and you go, okay, well, everybody needs a little death ray now and then, right? It's the same thing as the executives that have like the big scandals, like this technological infrastructure and everything. It's it's 100% death ray, and then there's just payoffs. It gives out just enough payoff to to kill the whole thing. Right, the origin if this wasn't that way, then you would just have like social media, the people that you follow come up in your feed, you get the information that you're able to want. There would be no algorithmic filtering other than any ones that you design, right? Like if you don't have that, if you don't have the ability to simply subscribe to people and get their stuff in sequential order or filtered based on your own algorithm, then you don't then the thing is that whole thing is just using your beliefs and your desires and everything to shape how you think. So that like the algorithm is literally filmed at a stage play, like an international stage play, and then it's able to zoom in and show you different angles of the play. And by play, I just mean like at some point, like all these events, all of these motivations are like people are scripting them. It's these are not authentic reactions, but you go, oh, well, that is the world stage in general because it's all spy versus spy backstabbing, whatever. It's like it's assumed that the reality is a play. No one compete like everyone competing is exuding lies as camouflage. That's how it works. We're culturally like octopuses. Like we, if you're competing with another country for real and you're playing for real, then you're the front is completely, you want it completely blank, opposite, hyper genuine. And so that type of ego is what's in charge of every single information source because that's in charge of basically every single individual. I think there's something to do with people recognizing this, like recognizing the dual nature. We're like creatures and floating on the surface of a thing, and when we look down into ourselves, into our being, we're true and honest in what we are. And when we look up into this empty, vacuous space thing that's operating from ego, it's operating from darkness, it's operating from whatever. And there's like a sleep wake cycle where we go in and out of goodness, sort of. And like every time you fall asleep, you like kind of forget what you are, and there's a dream that's already going on, and it's just very like we're so if you get the reason that there's like space agencies and stuff is to set the stage. That's the sound, lighting, magic. Like where is the story taking place? Right? Where is the story taking place in the grand cosmic picture of things? That's the outer agencies. That's the story. That's what they're doing. They're like the prop and the lighting and the set, where you go, oh, I'm looking at this, I'm in a field, well, where am I? And you go, I'm there, right? And that requires a certain setup, right? Because your characters, like if you have like on Star Wars, are they on Tatooine or are they in a desert? You go, oh no, they're in the Gobi Desert or whatever. But no, there's a setup, there's a lighting. No, they're on another planet, right? So there's a setup and a lighting of like we're here, and that's the drama that we're in. The drama the sound and the stage isolates you from the true drama, which is what city lights do, right? The lights blot out the stars. The true drama is the zodiac and the stars and the constellations. The light drowns that out. It sets the stage. The stage of the city lights sets the stage for the city drama by drowning out everything else. And that's what uh, is going on. But that part of the play is real. Like it's almost like the when you're in a body, like a person or an animal in a body. That body is setting the stage for that. That water is in a drama where it's like that's a squirrel. That's not awareness over there. That's a squirrel. Why? Because of the staged drama. Like it makes the drama is the lie, and the drama is part of the reality. The darkness is part of the reality because it makes the things. The lie is the stage setting which creates the things. And just like how you like if you go to liturgy and you're doing some divine sacrament like that, and it makes the god. The lie, the stage, the performance makes the the magic. That's how the magic happens. That's the creative force, the proper use for the satanic force or whatever, the adversary, right, is to do this consciously or with awareness. But there's something about it where it's like you can't pretend to have the thing without it kind of fractaling out or you getting caught up in your own drama. Like it's the it's the creative force, the ritual, the drama, the reenactment makes it happen. It actually happens in the way in which it is acted out is the way that it happens. So you have to look at everyone as characters that a faction is using to create a front or to create a persona, to create a world, right? And you have to look at what people are working with in that faction, which part of the people working in that faction are awake and which parts are dreaming or quote unquote enslaved, serving as the body of that part. You have the people that are just running the mythos, running the activity unconsciously, just accepting the story. They serve as the body, which is the sleeping component of consciousness, which is the physicality of consciousness. That's the body of it. That's the normie. That's the NPC. And the people who are awake um, are the elite, are the mind, the controller, the rider. The general knows what's happening. The soldiers don't know which action is a psyop or not, but the general, the leader, knows which one is the truth. And so sometimes the enemy knows more about the truth than the people in the army, right? And so this is happening on so many different levels. There's so many different groups. There's so many different plays, right? Right. It's like there's like theater. There's the performance. There's the theater battle. There's the squirrel infestation. There's the outer drama that is like creating and influencing, and it's like it's wild. But what it certainly is not is what it certainly is not is what is being presented, but it certainly is exactly what it obviously appears to be. know?